Hi everyone, Dark Swordsman here, and today I want to show you how to clean your mechanical keyboard. I already started doing mine, and I had the idea to make the video while I was making it, or doing it. So I figured I'd just show you guys in case you have a mechanical keyboard and you want to know how to clean it. It's really not that hard. All you really need is just some sort of card to pry out the keys, and then maybe some compressed air, which I don't even have. I'm just gonna like blow with my mouth. And I'm also going to use alcohol just to help clean up the keys and stuff and whatever, and maybe some Q-tips. That's really it. Um, it's a little bit tedious, but if you just want to go in and blow out most of the junk and just put it back together, it's fine. I do want to try to actually clean it more than I normally do, so that way it looks a little bit better. I've had the keyboard for like 2 or 3 years. I mean, it's kind of starting to go on its way out, and I might get a new one soon, but I still want to take care of it. So as you can see here, I've already done most of the keys. This is what it looks like underneath. I have a Cherry MX Blue Cooler Master Quickfire TK. It's like a competition one, kind of. It has the numpad over here, but it's mixed with the 10 key or whatever. So basically each keycap goes on to the key mechanism using a little cross. And the easiest way to get it off is, like, if you have ever seen any of the keycap remover tools, which are kind of pointless, but I mean, I guess they're useful. All they're doing is pushing up from the bottom. So what you're gonna do is, like with my card, I'm gonna push like this. So basically I'm just like pushing like this with 2 fingers and then one in the middle to like bend it. When you bend it, it creates a little cup here that helps you push up. So if I go underneath the keycap on the right side here, just slowly, basically you just want to pull up, but also you're gonna want to take your other hand and like grasp it on the other side and like push into each other, like this, and it kind of pinches it and pulls it up. Alright, so here's the same thing but from a different angle. So I'm curving the card underneath the key like this, and then pushing in like this with the other side. It kind of helps it stay level and pop it off like that. This cross goes on top of this keycap right here. Alright, so now that we have all the keys off, I'm sure you can see all of the crud on the inside. It's just what happens over time. I probably haven't cleaned this in about a year, or probably like 8 months. I mean, it makes sense. You know, your fingers are everywhere and you touch your keys. And, I mean, but yeah. So the main part about this is all this dust and crud here. You really just don't want this getting into like underneath where all the circuitry is. It can kind of mess up stuff. I do know that my right shift LED, like, stopped working pretty much altogether. Every now and then it flickers back on, but it's mainly, I'm assuming, because of dust. I doubt it'll ever work properly again, but yeah, you just want to make sure it's as clean as possible. All you want to do to get all this crud out of here mainly is to use canned air, or since I don't have that, I'm just going to blow on it with my mouth. The next step after that is probably going to be use a Q-tip, and if you want to go a step further, if there's like grimy stuff stuck in there, you could just use alcohol. Alright, so now that I've blown on it, you can see that there's quite a bit less dust and stuff, but there's still like little particles and stuff that are just stuck in between. They're like stuck to the little back plate here. I'm just going to take a Q-tip and take my time and go through all of the little crevices. And then if there's anything left after that, I can just use the alcohol or something to help clean it out. Normally you can't get this completely perfect unless you have all like specialty tools, or you really take your time. I just want to get it clean enough so that way I don't really have to worry about it for a while, but I don't want to go crazy with it. I mean, it would be nice to have a super clean keyboard, but there's only so much you can do. Like, there's a point where it's like diminishing returns or whatever. Alright, so what I did is I used Q-tips. I actually frayed them off at the end so that way they can grab a little bit better. I used the Q-tips to try and get most of the crud out. It did a decent job. If you look closely, it did alright. There's still a little bit of crud in there, but it's a lot better than before. What you might have seen me do at the end there was put a vacuum to it, which actually did kind of help a little bit, help get like the hard to reach stuff. But there is still stuff that is like stuck onto the board, which I will now take care of using rubbing alcohol. It probably won't get every single little bit, but it should help get most of the stuff. One thing I do want to mention, just be careful when using these Q-tips because if you push too hard or whatever, not only can you risk breaking one of the keys, you also can get some of the fibers from the Q-tip stuck on everything, which started to happen with me, but the vacuum actually really helped clear that up. Alright, so I'm pretty much done with the alcohol part. What I am going to do is I'm going to run the vacuum back over the keyboard to help dry out the alcohol. I know it's not going to do a perfect job, but it'll at least help get most of like the big little clumps of alcohol that's sitting in there. The alcohol really shouldn't do anything to the keyboard as long as you dry out most of it, and yeah. Alright, so now I've gotten rid of most of the gunk on the actual plastic that you see every day. Windex did a great job. And then the last step would be putting on the keycaps. Usually the keycaps are pretty clean unless you have really, really greasy Cheeto fingers. But mine have a little bit of dust on them, so I will go through every single key and clean them up with some Windex. There might be some stuff underneath. Looking at most of mine, I don't see much stuff underneath. Dust doesn't usually go up. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over these with Windex, and then once I'm done with that, I'll start putting them back in.